So basically, I woke up. I had already logged in for work, and I had laid back down and just kind of dozed off and had my computer beside my bed. I was lying there. I was kind of on my side, and I started hearing some ruffling in the bed. And it was on the other side of the bed. And like I said, me and Jimmy had only been dating a few months. So I was a little bit confused. But in my head, like instantly, I was like, okay, like this must be Jimmy. I don't know how he got in my apartment. I don't know like why he
She
didn't
thought I was
call
there.
me and tell me, but like I just assumed it was him. So I was trying to say his name, but nothing would come out. And it was like I couldn't move my body. I could open my eyes, but that was pretty much it. Couldn't say Jimmy's name. And all of a sudden I kind of glanced up because I was on my side, but I have a TV in front of my bed. So I was able to look at the TV, and I saw a man in a black cloak. I mean, assuming it was a man, it was a dark figure in a cloak. And the guy was walking, and I could see the reflection in the TV. So instantly, so one of my friends a few years ago actually had me watch a documentary on Netflix about sleep paralysis because it had happened to her where she woke up in the middle of the night and a guy was on top of her. A black cloak man was
A
on
few
top of
years
her.
before this happened?
Right, yeah. So the guy was on top of her, choking her for a couple minutes until the guy just kind of got off of her and left the room. So I instantly knew. And I remember when she showed me, I was like, this is so crazy. And I think it's one of those things where you can't fully believe it until it happens to you. It never happened to me until years later that night when, or I guess that morning.
Which it was like 9:15 in the morning.
I was gonna say, and I have heard that the most common times for it to happen to you is either like as you're falling asleep at night or in the morning. So those are the two most common times that I've read that it happens.
As like another angle of this, I was walking to get coffee. It's like 9:15 in the morning, and I get a call from Lauren. She says, "Jimmy, are you here?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "No, I'm going to get coffee." She says, "Somebody's in my apartment. You have to come now." So boom, I get my car. I drive over there. It's like probably 10-minute drive to get there. And I don't know really what I'm gonna see. She is super scared on the phone, and I stayed on the phone with her the whole time. But I honestly did not know what I was gonna see, and I also didn't know what I was gonna do. It's not like I had a gun or anything on me. Like if somebody was in there,
yeah.
odds are, like I mean, if they had a weapon, I couldn't have done too much. But get there, check through the apartment, and nobody's there except her roommate was in the other room. But obviously her roommate was in the other room, door shut. But
right, and I didn't realize my roommate was in the room right when it happened, and then I was like, you know what, let me text her. So I texted my roommate, and I was like, hey, like, can you come in my room? I didn't say anything else because I was thinking it was kind of what my friend had showed me.
You were convinced somebody was in the apartment. She was convinced somebody was in
I was just not. I didn't really think that they were, but I also was like, I just saw somebody, but I also couldn't.
I mean, I was convinced that I was like that somebody was there.
Yeah, so basically I texted her that, and she walked in my room and was like, hey, like, what's up?
I was scared to sleep in her place for a little bit, to be honest, after that.
Really?
Yeah.
You were scared.
And what I've learned is that it's not centered around the place that it happens in. Like, it'll kind of follow you around. Like, remember we watched
that's just great, huh?
Tell manga.
Yeah.
The crazy part, though, is that you saw what your friend saw, right? The same
I
cloak.
did. Luckily, it wasn't on top of me. So
it's weird, man.
Yeah, for her it was actually choking her, and I've heard a lot of stories like that. I was lucky enough, if you want to say, to actually not have it on top of me. I do know I heard something in the bed, so it must have gotten up from the bed then walked around the room.
What do you think the goal? Okay, let's say it is demonic. What do you think the purpose?
I think it casts a lot of anxiety into a person.
Yeah, because she has been anxious. She hasn't been able to sleep well.
I will say, like, since that happened, like, I was almost scared to even walk around my apartment alone during the day because I would like jump at my own shadow.
The state of consciousness into the subconscious that is not awake, whether it's paralysis or dreaming or lucid dreaming, bro, it's just unexplainable.
This was the part that I hadn't quite gotten to. I just remembered. And I was so freaked out by the voices. I don't even know what the voices were saying, but I do know they mentioned something about angels. And to me, that is...
It's crazy, man.
Do you think there's any way that you were still asleep?
No. My eyes were wide awake. I could see everything. I saw my computer.
So you were turned on your right side of your bed.
It It was like kind of
Door is over here.
The TV. In
You
front.
thought that I was beside you in the bed. She could hear
I was
somebody
hoping,
in the bed.
that was my only conclusion my brain could.
And then it gets up, it walks around, black cloak,
Kind
and
of
then
walks
leaves.
out the door. Yeah.
You don't see the face, right?
No, just a cloak.
And then right when it leaves, that's when you can move.
Not right when it leaves. So right when it left the room, that's when the voices started. So I heard voices for maybe like 10 to 15 seconds, and then after the voices stopped is when I could move.
So here's the question I have with sleep paralysis. Is it demonic or is it a figment of your imagination? And why is it that all experiences are negative?
That's why there's no way.
And similar.
Yeah, why is that?
They're too similar. And a lot of times it's either the guy in the black cloak, a slimy, muddy figure.
That's what I saw, a slimy, muddy figure.
That's very scary.
Why is that?
The craziest one I've heard is it's not the grizzly bear one, although that's terrifying. This one, it's so weird I don't really like talk about it, but it's the same guy. He had sleep paralysis when we were living down in Seal Creek years ago. He wakes up, looks at the end of his bed, and there is a family of 4, a mom, dad, daughter, son, and they all kind of look similar, like in just imagine just like a family. They just all look similar in like a strange, like a uncanny valley kind of way.
Yeah.
They were sitting on a couch, all 4 of them, just watching him and laughing and smiling.
Do you think he was being haunted by a ghost?
Well, do you think ghosts exist? I don't.
And then he wakes up and he comes running into my room and he's like, he literally was like, dude, like, are you real? I shouldn't have said this, but I was like, I'm not real. I should have done it.
What did he do?
I saw terror on his face like I have never seen before, seriously. Then we hear his cousins, dude, this is where it gets crazy. This is what gets into ghosts and maybe these things are in sleep paralysis. His cousins then moved into like some old lady's house in New Bern for like a year while their house got renovated. They all would hear at night the piano playing. Throughout the weeks, several of them saw a guy with a top hat walk in their room at night, sit down in a chair, and then walk out. And these are not like people who are gonna like bullshit. Like these are like Christian like kids.
What?
They found a Ouija board at the end of it.
See, that's got to be demonic.
100%.
So that's not
For
ghosts.
sure.
I think it's kind of the same though.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like ghosts could almost be brought on by.
It's something.
I don't know because my thing is like if there's a lot of stories of seeing dead people and stuff, but like we really believe that when we die, we're gonna be like constrained to the area that our spirit's gonna be constrained. Like if I died right here, I'm gonna be constrained to this house and haunting this house. Like that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
I don't know what they are. That's what I'm saying. I'm not claiming to know. I just know things like this have happened. Yeah. I'm always in the mindset of, you know what, that person is insane or they're a drunk or they're an addict. I'm like, in certain situations in life, some people get dealt a horrible hand. Mm-hmm. I can see why. Like think about it. If no one believes, dude, that I would probably go crazy.
Every year when something like that happens, it makes it hard to sleep, and not being able to go to sleep is going to make anybody more restless. It's going to make anybody. I heard something recently, and it was like, take away a person's sleep, and you're going to get, you know, like insanity. Like a person. People need sleep, so that in itself is, and that's going to keep you down from doing anything that God would have planned for you to be.